Hello. I apologize for not being there with you today, but since I could not be there, I decided to go back to my roots and make a flipped video for the Restorative Practices update from Platt. As you can see by our logo, not all Panthers are restorative by nature, but we have a core group of teacher leaders who are working with administration to change that. Entering this school year, our team wanted to build on some of our previous successes. The team engaged their colleagues in restorative-based professional development, including presentations on mindfulness, ACEs and trauma-informed practices, nonviolent communication, and de-escalation strategies. The team has also conducted after-school sessions to help teachers learn how to plan and conduct circles and discuss how different scenarios might be approached using nonviolent communication. This year, one of our prime objectives was to reshape the image of the restorative work we are doing at Platt, with a strong emphasis on building relationships and community. One of the ways that this theme was introduced was through the creation of a Google presentation that was shared with the faculty titled Getting to Know Our Platt Community. Faculty and staff were asked to contribute to this presentation by sharing information about themselves and their interests. This presentation, which we are still inviting teachers to contribute to, is linked here for your viewing pleasure. One of the major successes this year has been the creation of a duty period for 3 teacher leaders who are heading up the restorative work at Platt. Last school year, the teachers on our restorative PLC found it difficult to find time throughout the day to meet with teachers and students to do the pre-work that goes into facilitating a circle, let alone the time to actually run the circle itself. With the teachers agreeing to use a floating prep, we were able to cover 4 of the 7 periods of the school day for restorative work to be done in the building. This has led to over 100 restorative circles at Platt this year alone, in which relationships were built where one did not exist or repaired where one had been broken. The members of the Restorative Practice PLC work closely with our school climate specialist who runs restorative circles, mediations, and reentry circles for students returning from suspension. Our climate specialist has also pushed into classrooms at the behest of teachers to work with classes in which climate and culture needed to be addressed. Moving forward this school year, we have an action plan that includes a continued focus on messaging about restorative practices that highlights community building and maintenance, repairing harm when needed. We want to initiate monthly opportunities for restorative success stories so that influential members of the faculty who have taken part in restorative practices can share their experiences with their colleagues. The team is also looking at ways to reintroduce and promote the community concern forum to the faculty and the student body. This forum can be found on the Platt homepage and allows any student, teacher, or staff member to request a restorative circle if they feel that there is a relationship that needs to be repaired or built. The team plans to get students more involved with the promotion of restorative practices at Platt. In March, it will be unveiling a student-created restorative practices logo that will be branded on posters throughout the school. We will also be looking for ways to establish opportunities for student voice regarding restorative practices, such as essay and songwriting contests and training students in circle facilitation. We are looking into defining a student-staff welcoming process and committee for students and staff who are entering our community throughout the school year. The team is looking to define a process for recognizing staff and student upstanders who take a stand against an act of intolerance or injustice. Lastly, we begin to plan for next year to try and find ways to offer professional development to our staff focused on issues such as trauma and equity-informed practices, culturally responsive classrooms, and de-escalation strategies. The resources that we would like to share with you today include the rough draft of our student-created restorative practices logo, a link to a document that contains a compilation of some of the restorative thoughts of the week that are sent out as part of Rob's weekly news blast to the faculty, and finally, a link to the community concern form that can be found on the Platt homepage. I want to end by recognizing the leadership role that has been taken by teacher leaders Eric Lopez and Pam Guest, along with teachers Kurt Regis and Annie Carr, our social worker Peggy Borelli, and our climate specialist Atiba Wiggins. The shift towards a more restorative community at Platt High School would not be possible if not for the commitment that these individuals have shown in working with colleagues, students, and families to develop and sustain a positive school climate that supports the needs of our students. If you have any questions, I'm sure that Rob and Pete would be happy to answer. Have a nice day.